There is sadly nothing that can be done now to save 24-year-old Heaven Glisson or her friend Dalen Bradford after they were gunned down a week ago Sunday.
But Heaven's father and a Northern Kentucky lawmaker say there are things that could have been done before they were killed, and Donald Bryant turned the gun on himself. Local 12's David Winter is live after speaking to a lawmaker with a bill calling for changes that might have saved Heaven and Dalen. David.
3 lives were lost here weekend before last. Now all that's left are flowers and candles, balloons, and questions about what may have saved them and what could save others in the future.
It was hard to see my daughter in the casket.
When Heaven Glisson's biological father attended his daughter's funeral this past weekend, he says he heard horror stories about the abuse his daughter endured at the hands of her ex-fiance, Donald Bryant.
He made her quit her job, and then anytime they would fight, he would take her phone from her.
Couple that with the fact that after Heaven left Bryant just weeks ago, he tracked her down a week ago Friday, made his way into her apartment in Independence, and threatened to kill himself with a knife in front of Heaven's 2 children and 2 children she was watching for a friend.
Is it like a pocket knife or like a kitchen knife?
He said a kitchen. He was sitting on my couch when he said it.
Independence Police Chief Brian Ferriorni says when police arrived, Bryant told them he was not serious when he said he'd kill himself, and they let him go.
I looked up in 5 minutes. I was able to find this guy's rap sheet. He has a lot of violence in his background. He had 2 other cases of temporary restraining orders put out on him from another woman. Shouldn't that have been enough for you to say, we better hang on to this guy?
He didn't give any indication at the time that he was going to be violent, that he was going to hurt anybody.
The way the statute's written is it says that there has to be a threat of violence or an actual physical act of violence. So what my bill would do is really allow them to go before an act of violence.
Kentucky State Representative Stephanie Dietz introduced a bill last legislative session that would have allowed Heaven to file a protective order against Bryant for coercive control. Things like taking away her phone and threatening to kill himself. Still, she says police should have involved social services.
I definitely think the cabinet should have been called at that moment if children were involved.
What would that have done in this situation?
Well, I think it would have, it would have given the opportunity for the victim to leave.
It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen to anybody's family. And the main thing is you can't bring her back. We can't do anything about the past. But policies and things need to change. That way it doesn't happen to somebody else's family.
Representative Dietz says she is going to reintroduce her coercive control bill in January when the legislature comes back from its recess. She says that she wants to talk to Heaven's family about calling it Heaven's Law. Reporting live from Independence, David Winter, back to you in the studio.
All right, David, thank you so much. And David asked Commonwealth Attorney Rob Sanders whether he is going to bring charges against the man who lent Bryant, a convicted felon, the gun used in these murders. Sanders said that he can't because there is no evidence that the friend knew Bryant was a felon, and Kentucky law does not require people to do a criminal history check before lending a gun.